I want to thank Jose and Genesis, the team at Genesis, for hosting this webinar. Um, I hope this webinar is helpful for you to understand Vssl a little bit better and to understand our products. Um, the key takeaways that I hope that you can take from this are, what is it that makes Vssl different than other products that are on the market, and what kind of business opportunity Vssl can provide for your business. That's one thing that we really talk about a lot is the financial part, the business opportunity that Vssl offers for dealers and distributors. So just to begin here, Jose asked me to introduce myself and my background and the company and how we started the company or why we started it and where we are now. So my name is Devin Davies. I am the Executive Vice President for Vssl and also one of the co-founders. And so it's been almost 6 years now. We started Vssl about 6 years ago. And we saw an opportunity in the audio streaming, multi-zone audio distribution market. And we have a lot of experience installing different products, different audio products. My background personally, I used to be an audio video integrator, and I did a lot of work in Park City, Utah. If you're familiar with Park City, it's a kind of a resort town or resort city in Utah with a lot of high-end homes, and so I have experience installing Control 4. We did a lot of Sonos back in the day. We did a lot of high-end home theaters and security and all that kind of stuff. So that's part of my background is, and that's where I get a lot of my experience is being an integrator. But again, as I was an integrator, I realized that that the audio streaming portion of the home automation jobs that we did, the audio portion of it could be better. And so anyway, I had an opportunity to start Vssl with some other my colleagues, and like I said, that was about 5 years ago, and today it's doing very well. And I would dare say that we're one of the fastest growing audio streaming companies in our industry. Last year we experienced tremendous growth, and this year we anticipate really good growth as well, as long as we can get over this virus. So anyway, so that's a little bit about me. One thing I should mention about Vssl is originally, Vssl is a company of Sound Vision Technologies, and Sound Vision Technologies is our parent company that owns Vssl. It owns True Audio. You may have heard of True Audio before. It owns Unified Copper. Anyway, we have several different brands. We have racks called Forge, and all of these brands are owned by Sound Vision Technologies. So Vssl is one of the leading brands under Sound Vision Technologies, and again, we're very happy with the product, and it's receiving, it's being very well received by integrators, and ultimately, the homeowners are really loving the system. They appreciate, how easy it is to use. So here's kind of, this slide right here kind of shows you our locations and where we are. And so again, Vssl was founded in 2016. It's privately held. Our corporate office is in St. George, Utah, right here, which is very close to Las Vegas. So if you've ever been to Las Vegas, we're about 2 hours north of Las Vegas. We also have warehouses in Atlanta, Georgia. We have one in Holland, and we have a fulfillment center in Shenzhen, China. So we're able to distribute to anywhere, just about anywhere in the world in under 5 days. 5 days or less, I should say. So as I mentioned, Sound Vision Technologies is our parent company. Here are the different brands underneath that company. So, excuse me. One thing I want to start off with here is, oh, did somebody have a question there, or I can't? Okay, never mind. So a couple of things that I think are very, okay, one thing that's very important to understand about Vssl and kind of where we come from is we are a integrator-friendly and distributor-friendly company. So we're a CEDIA company, and so what that means is, some of the things we are very cautious about and very mindful of is, we want to make our integrators succeed. And the way that we do that is we offer price protection. So the Vssl products cannot be shopped online. We do have a very strong MAP policy, a minimum advertising price policy. So if any of our distributors ever do, or dealers do put our products online, we have a strict minimum advertising price. So you will never see our products advertised for less than, full MSRP on the internet. And the amount of it is very limited as well. So we have very good warranties. If a Vssl offers a 1-year warranty on all of our products, and we're very easy to work with that. We provide advanced replacements. We make it as easy as possible. If there ever is a unit that goes bad, we fix it right away. We have a tech support team full-time that can help with any tech support issues that come up. Our margins are very healthy, and again, that goes back to what I said earlier about Vssl being a business opportunity. Is of any other audio streaming product that's on the market currently, Vssl offers the strongest margins. We've done a lot of research on that, and Vssl just has fantastic margins. So I'll kind of discuss that a little bit more later, but that's one thing we want you to know is about our strong margins. And then, like I said, we have designated contacts. We have a full tech support team that you can contact anytime. So quickly, I'm going to introduce the product family, the Vssl product family, and so you kind of understand our offering. And then I'll talk a little bit more about some products that we have right now that are being designed. We have the Vssl. We have 3 products that make up the Vssl family right now, and that is the A6, which is this bottom unit here. That's a 6-zone, 12-channel amplified network amplifier with streaming capability built in for every zone. That was a mouthful, but it's the network. In short, it's a smart amplifier with audio streaming capability. This one right here, the middle one, is an A3, and that is a 3-zone, 6-channel unit. And this top unit here is an A1, which is a 2-channel single-zone unit. So these are the 3 products we offer now. We have a lot of customers who ask, can you use multiple units on the same job, on the same project? And the answer is yes. You can do several A6s. You can mix and match. So you can install an A6 with an A3, and they all communicate over the network. So very nice products. And again, you know, they're scalable, and so they'll fit any size job that you have. So so native streaming capability is one of the key differentiators between our product, between the Vssl products and any of our competitors. So we were the first company on the market to provide native streaming capability. And what that means is, when we say native streaming capability, what we mean is the ability to stream directly from any music app, any native music app on your device, on a mobile device, to any zone or multiple zones in a audio system. So let me say that again. Native streaming capability is the ability to stream directly from any music app on any mobile device to any particular zone or multiple zones on an audio system. So, and the way that we accomplish that is we have very close ties with Spotify, AirPlay with Apple, and Chromecast with Google. So those are the three streaming protocols that we have that are built into our amplifiers. And again, by offering these three streaming platforms, you can literally stream from any music that you can possibly think of. So the flexibility that we offer is unlike any other product that's on the market. Any questions yet on this so far? And again, if you have questions, just chat them right here to me in the group chat. Okay, well, if there's no questions, I'll just continue going on here. And then, and I think Jose said at the end, we will open up the mic for questions. So I want to talk about AirPlay 2 for a second. So AirPlay 2 is, I'm sure you guys are familiar with that, but it's the ability to, it's Apple's new and improved streaming platform. So one of the big differences that this offers to users who have Vssl products is it allows you to easily group zones on the fly. So you can see this image here on the right-hand side. This shows you know, a music app. Somebody's streaming music from a music app via AirPlay 2, and so I can see it. I've got my family room, office, and other zones. AirPlay 2 again is the ability to gives you the ability to easily group zones together on the fly. So if you're listening to music in the family room and you want to group the office, you simply can select this circle here on the right hand side of the zone, and it'll group the zones together. So it's a very nice feature for our product. And again, AirPlay 2, if you have multiple, let's say you have two A6s on one project, Vssl with AirPlay 2, you can group zones together on both amplifiers, if that makes sense. So again, if you had 18 zones of audio, I can group, you know, zone 2 with zone 3 on a different amplifier, and it just all works seamlessly together. It makes it a very easy user experience to group zones. So you'll hear me talk about simplicity a lot. You know, again, our from the very beginning, Vssl's mentality was to deliver a product that is simple, very simple, and that's what we have done. So again, AirPlay 2, we can't talk enough about that. We're very happy that we have AirPlay 2. This is on all of our products. Just very nice to have that. So moving on here, we talk about the power of voice control. Vssl gives you the ability to use products, voice control products like Alexa, Google Home, Siri, or any of those voice recognition platforms are natively built into the Vssl unit. So, you know, if you had a Vssl system, an A6, and you had a Google Hub or a Google Mini, then you can speak to that and say, "Hey Google, play music in the kitchen," and it will continue. It will play music in the kitchen. Somebody asked here if I can talk about Siri a little bit more. So Siri was not available on any of our products until we had AirPlay 2. So AirPlay 2 actually gives us the ability to use Siri as well. And Siri is very similar to Google or Alexa. You simply would say, you would have to set you'd have to set this up through the Google Home Kit on your mobile device. So I'm sorry, I said Google, the Apple Home Kit on your mobile device. There's an app called Apple Home Kit. You can go in there and you can set up Siri. So again, it's very nice because Siri, you can say, "Siri, play music in my office," and then you can say, "Siri, turn the music up to 50%," and you have complete control using your voice. And a lot of users are really liking this technology and the ability to do that. So another question that came in is, will Siri with all streaming options or only AirPlay? Yes, Siri only works with AirPlay. So Siri is Apple's version of voice control. So again, it's very easy to set up. Once you've done it once, then you know how to do it, and it's just very easy to do. You just have to learn to do it the first time. But again, it's a very nice feature. This voice control is very nice. I will say one more thing about voice control is we have a new product coming out. Actually, I shouldn't say a new product, but a revised version of the A6 that will be coming out, and that's going to have the ability to, on the same unit, you can either pick Alexa or Google or Siri. So let's see, another question came in. Will Siri? Okay, yeah, it was the same question. So yeah, Siri will work with AirPlay. It only works with AirPlay. So, okay. Let me continue on here. So when we talk about automation, Vssl provides drivers for Control 4, URC, and coming very soon is Crestron and RTI integration. So these drivers are certified drivers. As I mentioned, we already have Control 4 and URC for A6, A3, and A1. And we've had a lot of dealers asking for Crestron and RTI. So we are currently, as we speak, we are building the Crestron driver, and we hope to have that available for release within the next month. 3 to 4 weeks is when we should have Crestron, and then RTI will be shortly after that. But again, the drivers, the automation integration and drivers will give you, as the integrators, will give you even more ability to, it'll provide more solutions, and you'll have, more projects that you can fit our product into. So we can talk more about these drivers. If you have questions, we can discuss that later. But just know these are full integrations with these drivers. We really want to talk about the home, the A1 home. This is our newest product that we have, and I know that some of you have. I know Nassim has a lot of experience with Vssl, and but I don't know how familiar he is or anybody is with the A1, as it's a fairly new product that we offer. But the A1 is an absolutely awesome product. It fits perfect for, there's very, there's very many applications or different solutions that the A1 will provide. It's great. It has Wi-Fi built into it. It has Bluetooth capability. If you look at the back of the unit, there are a lot of inputs and outputs. And let's see if I've got the back. Oh yeah, right here. So in this image here, you can see the inputs and outputs that are available on the A1. And we have just about everything you can possibly think of on here, on such a small surface. But we have optical, digital, in and out, analog in and out. We have a dedicated subwoofer output. Your speaker level outputs right here. IR control. And then we also have over here the network in and out. So the network in and out is kind of nice. This particular unit does not have to be hardwired to your router. It can be, like I said, it has Wi-Fi capability built into it. But if you wanted to, you could use these, if you have multiple units and you wanted to hardwire them, you can use the input, and then you can use the output to daisy chain multiple A1 units. So, and then you'll notice here we have a switch. So the A1 can work as an audio source only with an on-off switch here. So you can turn off the amplifier and it just becomes a streaming device, or you can turn on the amplifier and it works as your amplifier and streamer all in one. So as I mentioned, with this switch, if you were to use it with a, if you just wanted to use the A1 as a streaming source, you can turn that switch off, and then you can utilize the outputs to go into a bigger amplifier. So if you wanted to go into a 12-channel amplifier, or if you wanted to go into a 70-volt amplifier or something like that, the A1 gives you the capability to tie into other amplifiers and still have that streaming capability. We already discussed the A3 and A6, but again, these are fantastic products for multi-zone audio distribution streaming. We're very, very happy with these products. They work very well. The amplification is very nice. They're Class D digital amplifiers, and they provide 50 watts per channel at 8 ohms. And it's also, these amplifiers are also 4 ohm stable. So very nice units. They can go into a rack. They can mount into a rack, or if they're sitting on a shelf, they have feet, and they can just sit nicely on a shelf as well. Here's a back panel view of the A6 and A3. You can see here we've got many inputs and outputs on each unit. Again, the A6 I mentioned already. We have a revised version of this that's coming out very soon. Well, I say very soon, but within the next few months. We'll have outputs, dedicated pre-outputs per zone. And then we'll also add some digital and optical inputs on the A6. The A3 already has optical input. You can see that here. And then you have your different inputs and outputs, RCA inputs and outputs there. One thing that's important to note about these units is they are matrixed amplifiers as well. So if you have an audio source connected to zone 1, you can play it on zone 6 very easily, and so forth. So the audio matrix capability just adds another layer of flexibility, and and gives you a lot of different options there. So, and again, these outputs here are pre-outputs, pre-amplified outputs, and can be tied into a audio video receiver. Like I said, you can use a bigger amplifier with more wattage if that's something you want, or if you're simply going into a landscape audio system or something like that. So we'll send this out. If you don't have this already, we can send this. So this is just a brief description of the specs on all of our units. I won't bore you and read through all these, but you can go through them and read these on your own. But just gives you an idea of the wattage and power output and that kind of thing. So, okay, so I'm going to skip this slide. This is all in US dollars, so it's not very, I don't think it's very accurate for you guys, but when we talk about the cost per zone on the Vssl units, we know that we're very competitive. We're very competitive with any of the competition that's out there. So we price, when you look at the price per zone, you'll know that you can see that the profit margins that we offer compared to our competition, again, is our margins are at least 50%, and in some cases it's more than that. So again, I'm going to leave that up to Genesis to talk more about the pricing and the pricing structure and how that works. But one thing I will mention along with that is, again, we've spent a lot of time looking at pricing and looking at our competitors' pricing, and we know for sure that when dealers are selling Vssl over some of our competitor products, the margins are much, much better. So again, we're operating at a 50% margin, and this green line here indicates that 50% margin. And so on the left side here on this graph, it shows the profit that you can make off of our units, and this shows how many units or how many zones you have sold. So when we look at this, if on an annual basis, if you sell 200 zones, now that's not 200 units, I don't want to confuse that, but if you sell 200 zones of audio at a 50% margin, you can see how much more profitability you have, compared to products that have, 15% or even 20 to 22% profit margin. So it's quite a bit more. You can see as the year goes on an annual basis. Again, we can't talk enough. We're very excited about how much money that integrators can make by selling Vssl versus other products. So now there's some, as I mentioned, the Vssl products are network based, and they're IP controlled. So these units are the A3 and A6 require a hardwired Ethernet connection to a router, and then, as I mentioned, the A1 has Wi-Fi capabilities, so it can you can simply plug the A1 in to power and connect over Wi-Fi. There are some things. We have a network training also, which is not included here. I don't want to take your whole day, so we have a network training that we actually are working on right now, and we will be sending that out to Genesis, and they will be able to forward that to all of their integrators. But networking is very important to make sure you know how Vssl works with networks, because there's certain things that, if not done correctly, will not provide the best experience for Vssl. And we want, obviously we want nothing but the best experience. And so some networking basics that that we like to just talk about are, the A1 require a high-speed Ethernet connection or Wi-Fi. So I've already mentioned that. The A3 and A6 require an Ethernet connection only. We want to make sure that this is kind of an obvious thing here, but we want to make sure that you use high-quality, commonly known network gear. We have, some dealers who install Vssl with a very cheap router in a large home, and that just doesn't work very well. So we want to make sure that you use very nice networking gear. Some things that you want to make sure are enabled on Wi-Fi routers or on networks is UPnP, Bonjour, and multicast. So those are the three settings that you always want to check for when installing a Vssl unit. And this will eliminate a lot of problems as we get a lot of phone calls and we check one of these settings, and in a lot of cases, if these settings aren't set up right, then that may cause some issues. So again, we're here to help and provide support with this. The networking part or the networking piece to installing a Vssl unit is very important, and we just want to make sure that everybody understands that so they can have the best experience with a Vssl system. And then the last thing here is ensure the device is being used for setup on the same VLAN and Wi-Fi network as the Vssl. So you just want to make sure the Vssl unit and your device is on the same network. Here's just some topography about ways to ensure the best installation of a Vssl unit with networking equipment. And anyway, you can we'll forward this on to you, to everybody that's on this call. We can forward this to you so you can look at this. But again, there's some best practices when installing Vssl units, especially when you get into a medium to large size home or office where there's access points, and you may have a network switch and a router and an IP or ISP gateway. So there's certain ways to set this up that can ensure an absolutely solid experience. I've already kind of addressed this, but you can use multiple Vssl units on one project. And really, we don't know what the exact limitation is. We've had up to 6 or 7 or even more. I think we've had maybe 8 A6 units installed onto one project without any issues. And so, some things you just want to note when installing multiple units. You want to make sure that network switches are required, obviously, for hardwiring multiple Vssl units. So you would have to have, if you have 1 or more A6s, or 2 or more, I should say, you want to make sure those are wired into a router or a network switch. Let's see, Google Groups can be set up on multiple units, and AirPlay 2 also, as I mentioned earlier, gives you the ability to group zones on the fly across multiple units. IP addresses, you want to make sure the A6, A3, and A1 are all internal. The A6 has 7 internal dynamic or static IPs. The A3 has 4 internal dynamic or static IPs, and then the A1 has 1. So just something to note there. Every zone has its own IP address, plus we have another party zone module that's built in there as well. So that's just about it for me. I was, let's see, a question came in here. Is it possible to share local sources across units? Not yet. That's a very good question. The question is it possible to share local sources across units? And we just discussed this yesterday. It is possible to do, and we're going to do it. We just don't do it yet. So one way around that, let me go back up to this slide here. One way around that for now is you can use these outputs and go into an input on another amplifier. So there is one that is the way to do it now, but we are working on, I guess, digitizing the local source inputs so they can be shared across multiple amplifiers. So it's a very good question. Thank you for asking that. That's a good question, and we are working on that. So, and then we are very, very excited about the new products that we have underway right now, and we hope to release these by maybe the end of the year or Q1 of next year. And the next 3 products that we're coming out with that are wireless are a soundbar, a wireless soundbar, a wireless subwoofer. And one thing that's kind of exciting about the subwoofer that we're coming out with is it'll be wireless, and you'll be able to map this subwoofer with any audio zone. So whether you're doing a 5.1 surround sound system, or if you have an A6 that's already installed, and the user wants to add a subwoofer, you'll be able to add a subwoofer to any zone that's on the system. So again, let me just repeat that. It's very exciting news for me, and I think it's exciting news for everybody else too. But you can add a subwoofer to any zone on the Vssl system. So very exciting news with that. And then the freestanding speaker is going to be our 3rd product that we release. And again, this will be a wireless freestanding speaker that can be used in all kinds of different applications. Again, if you're using a 5.1 surround sound system, you can use our freestanding speakers. They'll be wall mountable, and you'll be able to use those for surround sound speakers. Or if you just want 2-channel audio, you can use our speakers for that. And there's lots of different applications. So these 3 products are going to be very nice. They're going to be high quality. Our pricing is going to be very competitive. And so I just ask that you be patient with us, and we will get these products out as soon as possible. And we're very, very excited for them. And I think you will be too. So let's see. And then, yep, so that's it. So that's all I have for now. I hope that you can take some information from this presentation that will help you understand Vssl better, and also help you understand the opportunity that could be part of your company or your business by using Vssl products. Again, we have had great success with them, and we hope that, if you haven't tried Vssl yet, we hope that you will try it and become familiar with it, because it's a fantastic product, and we're just very, very excited for this product. So anyway, that's all I have. Jose or Nassim or anybody, if you have any questions at all.
Yeah, I do have a question. It's regarding the party mode. As you will do for the local sources, will you do the same for the party mode, sharing with multiple units?
Yeah, so we already do that, Nassim, with party zones. You can already group zones across multiple different amplifiers. Is that what you mean? Am I understanding you right?
Yeah, Yep, yeah, because I did a test with the A. I have an A1 and A3 here, and I can't have them in the same party mode.
Well, you should be able to. AirPlay 2
Yes,
or
with AirPlay 2, there is no problem to do it. But what I want to do is recall a party mode and add all the different zones I have in the system. So with one or two or three different controllers. And the point is, today with the A3, I can have all the zones in the party mode, but I can't add my zone that I have on the A1.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, so there is one way you can do that now. If you use Google Cast, and again, I don't
Yep.
know.
And
You know,
then you create a group with all the zones and you recall it via Google.
yeah, yep. That's one way to do it, and then the other way is just AirPlay 2. So AirPlay 2 will work if you have, let's say you have an A1, an A3, and an A6.
Yeah.
Um,
For this, there is no problem. It works. It works. I did the test, and it's easy to use. Just wanted to know if the party mode can be improved as the local sources going across units. I just wanted to know if the party mode can go across units.
yeah, yeah. So it can, and again, the way that's done is through AirPlay 2 and Google
Yeah.
Cast.
Okay. Sounds good.
Does that make sense?
It is.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Nassim. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome.
Nassim is very experienced with Vssl. He has a lot of experience with our products, and
I do. So I'm talking with for all the countries. Feel free to contact me or ask your sales guy to contact me. If you have any question, I will be pleased to help you on that. No problem.
awesome. Thanks, Nassim.
You're welcome, Devin.
Okay, are there any other questions about the product or features or anything?
Maybe, Devin, I don't know if you have something on that to explain regarding the A1, because there is a lot of little things we can do with the A1, especially with the IR control and the automatic switches between the inputs, which is quite easy. And we have optical and we have digital in, and there is an auto switch between them, and we can use either analog input plus coax or digital, and all of them will switch automatically, and we have a power on limits and things like that. Maybe it can be easier for the customer to imagine how to install them in a project, because there is a lot of features in this product, and it is quite amazing.
Yeah, it's a very great it's a great solution for a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different projects. Again, it can be used as to power a sound bar. If you have TV audio, you can take your TV audio and go into the optical in, and then you can use the optical out or the analog outputs to power up a sound bar. So that's one thing. There's with the Wi-Fi capability that I mentioned, it makes it very easy to install in just about anywhere. So if you're adding a pair of speakers or an additional zone, it's very easy. The A1 makes it very easy to add zones to an existing project. So but yeah, I mean, this is something that all the dealers or integrators who are on here, I strongly recommend that you get an A1 and you test it and you become familiar with it, because it's a fantastic solution. It just really is, and it makes systems just that much better. So I recommend doing that. I had another question that came in here on the chat, and it says local streaming apps like TuneIn in the future, or is it possible using Control 4? Yeah, so if you're not using Control 4, any app, as I mentioned before, any possible app, it could be TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Spotify. It does not matter. If you're just using the Vssl system without Control4, then you can use any app. Now, if you're using it with Control4, you can still use the native streaming capability, but with our driver, our Control4 driver that we have, it does give you the ability to stream whatever is available through the Control4 EA controllers. So I think the EA controllers have 8, maybe 6 or 8 different audio apps that you can stream from, and all of those are available to stream on the Vssl amplifier by using the Control4 driver. So,
David,
yeah.
if I can add something to this, even if we don't have a Control4 system, we can do this kind of streaming with, for example, Google Assistant. If you have Google Assistant on your phone and you talk directly to your phone and asking to play whatever music you want or whatever tune-in radio, you can ask to play the radio directly in the zone. And as you have mentioned, all these informations in your Google Assistant, everything will be streamed directly to your zone, and not especially from your phone, but directly from the Google Assistant credential you have in. It's possible with Google Play, it's possible with Spotify, and it's possible with TuneIn.
Right. Yes, thank you, Nassim, for adding that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Another question here. I think in the case that you don't have, oh yeah. So the question was, if you don't have a mobile device that's nearby, I think the question is, how do you control the Vssl system? Yeah, so that, as Nassim stated, you know, you can either control the music through your mobile device, or if you're using Control4, you can control the music through the Control4 panel or touchscreen. So, and again, yeah, there's just kind of excuse me, the two ways to look at it. There's two different ways. Is one is using the Control4 interface, and the other is if somebody is not using the Control4 interface, they can control it with their mobile device. So hopefully that answers your question, Josep. Okay, any other questions at all? Okay, I don't see any other questions coming in. Hopefully that means I answered all of your questions. If not, I recommend, as I said, you know, get a unit in your hands, test it, and see what you think about it. So, Jose, is there anything else you wanted to add, or?
No, from my side, it's clear. So this presentation is recording. So we are going to put in the partner song to be able for everyone. So thank you, Devin.
Absolutely, and again, you know, I'm here anytime, and you know, feel free to email me. My email is devin@Vssl. That's DEVIN @VSSL.com. And feel free to email me anytime with any questions. We want to make sure that everybody's comfortable with our products. So thank you all so much for joining, and hopefully we'll see you soon. And if not, hopefully you'll be able to try out Vssl here soon. Thank you, Devin. Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you all. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye, Devin.
All right. Bye-bye.